Welcome to the Steve Reeve Podcast with the best moments from the past week and a few things that didn't make it to air. Monday.
It is the halfway point between winter solstice and spring equinox today. That might not feel like much, just words and dates, right? In the face of how freezing your face is getting out there in the cold. But that's not all. We officially crested over a full 2 hours of daylight compared to the shortest day of the year last year. As of today, 2 extra hours from the shortest day of the year. And that is something. All this tariff talk and the results and, of course, the impacts that are really the most important thing when it comes to it. And not just for us in Canada, but across on the south side of the border as well. Not even just because we kind of retaliated or at least took a firm stance as a country and said, well, yeah, tariffs are coming back your direction. That's just how that's going to go. But even just the initial round of tariffs coming from the United States is going to impact the United States as well. It's like, it feels like peeing in the wind. It really does. And just as pointless, too. But there are now, over the weekend, I saw it like a flood. So many resources popping up to help us buy Canadian flags on the price tags. Canada standing together. Firm stance from government in response. A lot of talk about where do you get your alcohol from? Is it Canadian? Well, you can check. You can check where it came from. And even amongst the shaky weak links, we've been standing firm. And that is what I'm talking about.
You're listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruz FM.
It's time for Cruz Music News with Steve Reeve.
Much talk about the Grammys, of course, last night. Trevor Noah hosting once again, I believe for his 5th year, but bringing Canada into the equation after making jokes to make light of an awful situation, including things like, we're going to be honoring the best in music as voted on by the 13,000 members of the Recording Academy and 20 million illegal immigrants. He's also joking about how Beyonce can't afford to continue her gigantic Cowboy Carter tour because, well, maple syrup's about to be $50. We can't afford a new tour. There's tariffs, Beyonce. There's tariffs. She did win big time. Of course, she got the Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter. She's also on the top of the list as far as nominations. 99 of them for her. She's also got the most Grammy wins, most decorated, 35 trophies. They love her at the Grammys. They really do. Very touching moment to celebrate the life of Quincy Jones, led by Stevie Wonder with a We Are the World performance, hosted by Will Smith as well, which kind of undermined it a little bit because it is his first major award show appearance since the Oscars slap incident. So people were kind of like, is Stevie going to be okay? You got to keep him out of there. I don't know what he's been saying about anybody's wives, but just like, let Will Smith chill out a little bit.
Tuesday.
I got to catch the movie Companion last night, which I genuinely thought, and I think I've even said on the show in the past week, is from A24. It's not. It's from New Line, and it just seems like it's A24 adjacent. Feels like that kind of movie. And it did throughout the movie as well. Now, if you've seen any of the marketing, if you read like a plot or synopsis or anything, you've seen anything beyond the very first trailer, you know an aspect, a fact about the movie that I kind of wish was just completely kept under wraps for people who are watching it for the first time, so I don't want to spoil it. If you are completely unaware of what this is about, go on this information. There's a couple people, Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher, playing a couple who are going out to visit friends for a weekend in the woods. And she is doting. She is loving. She wants to take care of everything that he needs, make him happy, and she never lies. Like, these are aspects of her. But as she comes to the cabin and spends some time, she starts to learn that not only is her partner probably using her in the relationship sense, but also in the murder sense. And things just do not go to plan, as they never do. I highly recommend watching. Obviously not for everybody. Bit gory. Not as scary of a movie as it seems. It's kind of billed as a horror. More of a thriller than anything else, and I would highly recommend watching. I loved it. And absolutely a good for her kind of movie. It's a birthday. It's a special birthday for Facebook, our favorite thing ever. It's been kind of a tumultuous time through the 2 decades and change. It started very humbly, of course, back in only Harvard's campus as the Facebook There's a whole movie. Aaron Sorkin writing that sucker and all about the social network in its infancy. But now it's no longer a child. It's 21 years of age today. And because it's American, that means it can drink starting today. I'd say get ready for it. But we already know that Facebook has been stealing booze from the liquor cabinet for at least a few years now. The tariffs seem to be paused, at least for 30 days, something like that. Who knows, really? Who knows at any given point? But we've kind of started the momentum of just trying to buy Canadian things and seeing like them even being marked out as, hey, these are made in Canada at the grocery store, things like that. I think we're all in on it. There's something funny about the idea of buying all Canadian snacks to serve during an all-American game this weekend. But that is going to be a common situation that I think many people are going to be kind of navigating. A little maple syrup in the chili alongside that Alberta beef, you know? A mountain of Hawkins cheesies, the superior cheesy. McCain, deep and delicious for everyone. Even the packaging for those cakes is produced in Canada, I have learned. Hell, I might just get one of those for lunch.
Hey Alexa, play the Steve Reeve podcast.
This whole border situation down south of America, I mean, tensions do seem to have eased a little bit as far as the trade tension, for sure. The tariffs are going to be paused for 30 days, maybe more. I don't know. Just wait and find out. That seems like it's what's going to be life for the next 4 years. But there's now the notice from Trudeau, as well as the president in Mexico, saying they have each now spoken with Trump about the border plans and the increased security and all that stuff. People have been musing that it's also going to benefit, the countries that are kind of signing up for it. Like in Canada, we're not going to get as many black market guns, maybe, or something like that. I don't know all the logistics and details behind it, but I do know that both of the leaders have said, yeah, we talked to the guy and I guess things seem all right for just now. We're kind of doing what we were already doing, and he seems happy with that. So let's just keep that going. But if we do need to up this program, I think it's like $1.2 billion new program or revitalized program for border security in Canada. What we really need are border patrol agents. And I think we've got a crop of them already ready to go that just have not been tapped yet. I think get the Canadian geese on our side with this one. A little bit hard to predict. Sometimes they move in on a situation just a little bit aggressively. For sure, they've got a reputation. But I think that that's going to be the intimidation that we need at the border to make sure everything's on the up and up. I thought you migrated south for the winter. Not today. Get your hands on the side of the vehicle. Not exactly the genre you hear too often here, but the Spice Girls may be doing something for a reunion. At least Melanie C., who is promoting her own album right now, is saying that it's time, as they're leading up to the 30th anniversary of the release of Wannabe. So it's time for a reunion. I feel like they're always talking about a reunion, like at any given point in time. The Black Keys have come back together for a live U.S. tour. Now, this is after they had canceled their 2024 tour, kind of infamously. In fact, it led to the parting ways between the band and their management and promotion company. But now they're going to be re-upping the International Players Tour in the U.S. and Canada. But only limited shows have been announced so far for this North American leg. Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan reuniting for the Summer Outlaw Music Festival. 10th anniversary of his Outlaw Music Festival, in fact. And that's going to be happening just a little bit later on this year. Of course, nowhere near us. Starting May 13th. And in weird music news, Jeff Goldblum has announced a new album titled Still Blooming. There's going to be all kinds of new music out from him, with the album arriving April 25th. However, the first single has arrived, called The Best Is Yet to Come, featuring Scarlett Johansson. Not her first time being on a song as well. As I recall, she appeared on a PT1 single in like 2000-something. That's it for your music news this morning. I'm Steve Reeve.
Wednesday.
And it's time.
Prove him wrong with the right answer. But you gotta be quick. It's time for Impossible Trivia with Steve Reeve.
And for another day with lots of money on the line, with thanks to Black Horse Pub, we'll play one more round. Go to the phone line right now. Dominic, your name sounds a bit familiar. You've played before, yes?
I have, yeah.
Oh, okay. It's been a while, yeah, probably before the year switch over, yeah. Well, we'll give you another chance today. Well, I'll also bug you for more details if you win, if you get the answer right, and you get the cash, which is $425 on the line today, Dominic.
All right, let's do it.
You got something in mind you want to spend that money on? Keep it in mind as you listen to the question, and you got to answer quickly, as always. TV trivia today. If there were only one day portrayed per episode, exactly how many happy days were there?
255.
Okay. That was the one. Over a course of 11 seasons, 10 years, 255 episodes, gets you $425.
Ooh, unreal.
Yeah, not bad. Well done today. Taking the pot, making a win happen first time in 2025. And now you've got that cash, well, maybe not in hand just yet, but that's going to happen soon.
Nice.
Transmission over. Want more Steve? New podcast episodes happen every Friday, or just tune into the Steve Reeve Show. Weekday mornings starting at 5:30 a.m. on 100.5 Cruz FM.